Hey guys, this is North back again with another video. Today's video, I'm going to give you my top 5 animalic fragrances for the year 2021. But before we get into my top 5, what are animalic fragrances? Animalic fragrances are fragrances that have notes in them where the ingredients come from animals. Now, in today's age, 2021, most of these particular ingredients that I'm going to mention are synthetically produced and they don't come from the animals anymore, especially the animals that you have to kill to get the glands or whatever from. So I'll mention a few and then I'll give you my list. One of them is civet, another is castoreum, then we have deer musk, hyrax, ambergris, and that's pretty much the most popular ones that are used. Now, the fragrances that I have don't contain the majority of them. I do have one that has civet. I have one that has a few that have, deer musk or black musk in it. And I have one that features ambergris pretty prominent in it. I'm not too versed on, all the information on how for example, the deer musk, how the pods or the glands are extracted, whether or not they have to kill the animals. But for the most part, all of these are outlawed, except for ambergris, for example. But that one, they don't have to kill the whale. It's almost like a rock formation that is excreted from the whale, and then it has to be in the ocean for a while and then it's washed up and people find it. But being that that's the case, it is extremely expensive to put in fragrances. So that is also synthetically produced, and I believe they use ambroxan to replicate that. Also, the cumin is another example of something that is from nature that is used to replicate animalic smells. And again, animalic smells are, to put in a simple term, are fragrances that almost have like a smelly or stinky or skanky quality to it. People call it barnyardy. Another one that is not from animals that gives off an animalic smell is oud. So I will have fragrances that will feature oud in the fragrances. So let's go ahead and get into it. Coming in at number 5 on my list is from the house of Parfums de Marly, and this is Hamdani. Now, as we know, all the names of the Parfums de Marly fragrances come from names of horses. The funny thing about this one is that people say it does smell like a horse stable because of how animalic it is. This one was released in 2013. It has frankincense, myrrh, guaiac wood, cloves, leather, tobacco, and sandalwood. This one you just get a lot of oud, you get leather, you get woods, but it's a very, very strong animalic scent. This one is not for the faint of heart. I have it at number 5 because it's kind of like rough on the edges throughout the whole life of the fragrance, but this one is good nonetheless. So coming in at number 5 is Hamdani from Parfums de Marly. Number 4 on my list is from the house of Montale, and this is Aoud Cuir d'Herbe. This one is, I was able to find a tester bottle. I didn't even see it here for retail, or else I would have taken this off. This one was released in 2016. This one is another big, bad, leathery animalic scent. But to me, this one smooths out a little bit more than Hamdani through the life of the fragrance. This one has tobacco, leather, incense, and birch. So it doesn't have too many ingredients or notes in it, but it is a very animalic scent. This one on Fragrantica, people compare it to the Night from Frederick Mall, which costs like 10 times the price. I have smelled it, but basically it's just really skanky, strong oud. That's pretty much what you get. I think this one, like I say, I only smelled that maybe once. This one has a little bit more nuance to it. So number 4 on my list is from the house of Montale, Aoud Cuir d'Herbe. Coming in at number 3 on my list is from the house of Acqua di Parma, and this is Colonia Ambra. Now, Colonia Ambra, this one is not an amber scent, so people get confused between amber and ambergris, because ambergris sometimes is also called amber, but ambergris is the excretion that comes from the whale. It comes from the sperm whale. So this one has the prominent note of that. So it has ambergris, it has musk, and it has sea notes. So this is a very marine-like animalic scent. So if you've ever smelled pure ambergris, right? Just like with very good quality oud, and the same thing with deer musk. It starts off kind of smelly or skanky, but throughout the life of it, it becomes a very, very pleasant scent. Nonetheless, the same with ambergris. And so this one is a very nice animalic scent, in the sense that it does come from ambergris and it does smell like ambergris. It's very, very good quality. This one right here, I do like a lot. I don't think any other fragrances that feature the note of ambergris the way that this one does. So if you're interested in checking out something along that line, something that is more marine-like, marine animalic, then you want to check out this one. This one comes in at number 3 from Acqua di Parma, and this is Colonia Ambra at number 3. Number 2 on my list comes from the Tom Ford private line, and this one is London. The cool thing about London is that this is an animalic scent, but it doesn't contain any notes that come from animals or even their genetically produced counterparts. So like Civet, for example, they have Civetone. It has nothing like that in it. This one has cumin, saffron, cardamom, black pepper, coffee, coriander, birch, and it does have oud in it. So that may be where a lot of the animalic comes from, also the cumin. But this one, as I wrote on my Instagram page when I posted this one, I believe is like amply named. You would think one named London, it'd smell like tea and cookies or whatever, you know what I mean? But London is a very cosmopolitan and multicultural type of city. And so you have all these different backgrounds, these different types of restaurants, these different types of spices that are in the air, and all the different people, and all that comes together. And that's what makes London so great. This is to me, almost like a hidden gem, but all of these seem to be discontinued. So this one, I guess for people, is going to be hard to find. But if you're able to get your nose on this one, I would definitely check it out if you're into animalic scents. Again, most of these are you either love it or you hate it type of scents. So coming in number 2 from Tom Ford, this is London. And again, this one was released in 2013. Coming in at number 1 on my list, again, just like any of these lists, 1 and 2 definitely could have been a toss-up. This one is a recent acquisition of mine, and this is from the Dior Privé line, and this is Leather Oud. Now, I finally was able to get my hands on Leather Oud. I'd been wanting Leather Oud for a long time from like a referral from Fragrance Journey, so shout out to him. He definitely likes his animalic, so I knew when he brought up Leather Oud and it was like up there on his list as far as being animalics, I knew it was something I had to check out. So unfortunately I did blind buy this, and unfortunately I did have to pay retail for it, because a lot of the Leather Ouds, not Leather Ouds, but a lot of the Dior Privé lines, the ones that are discontinued or not discontinued, they're just only available at boutiques in Paris. So this one is able to still be picked up in Paris. But there are 2 different variations of this. There's one that was released in 2010, which is the formulation that was released in 2010, and there's the formulation that was released in 2018. This one was produced in 2015, so this is a formulation from the 2010 batch. And this one has Civetta, leather, oud, beeswax, birch, labdanum, and cardamom. This one definitely is a great animalic scent. All of these that I've mentioned are kind of challenging scents. This one is definitely animalic. It does kind of smooth out, but I put it at number 1 because the animalic does stay there. With London, it sort of becomes like a spicy with animalics in the undertone, but this one, the animalic stays there, and then it just brings out the oud and brings out almost the labdanum and the cardamom. Now, as far as leather, I'm not really big into leather notes. I don't like ombre leather. I don't like Tuscan leather. I don't like whatever that leather accord is that they use in those scents. So I've been trying to find leather scents that mix like ouds or other scents in it, and they don't have that particular leather accord because I'm definitely not a fan of that. But anyway, so coming in number one on my list of Animalic Fragrances of 2021 is going to be Leather Oud from Dior Privé. Now for my two honorable mentions, they do come from the same house. The first one I'm going to mention is Al Shams Special Edition. So this one only contains Indian oud. That's the only note that is in it. And with oud, it doesn't have any other notes with it. And with oud, like I said, oud starts out really, really strong, and throughout the life of it, it becomes more and more of a pleasant scent. And that's what I like about this one. This is probably the most affordable, strongest oud that I have been able to find. This is extremely affordable, right? And it is big oud, skanky oud. So if you're into that, definitely pick this up. There's no release date on this, and this is Shams Oud, but this is the special edition. There are 3 of them, which are all called something Shams. But this one is Al Shams Special Edition. The other one I wanted to mention is from the Purely Orient line. It's the brand new line. I believe that started in 2019. And this one is called Amber. Now, this one was the only one out of the 5 that are available here that I was able to pick up. This was the only one because they're quite pricey for Ajmal. And this is the only one that spoke to me because it was animalic. Before, when I very first smelt it, I thought it was ambergris that I was smelling. That's why it was called amber. But no, what I'm smelling is oud. Now, the notes in this one are bergamot, rose, amber, but not ambergris, oud, and musk. So it starts off very animalic. You know, I think amber is a misleading title because there is no sweetness to it. It is skanky oud, and then I need to wear this a little bit more to see how it plays out. But this is definitely an animalic scent, and if I do this list again in 2022, if I pick up some newer pickups, this may move up higher on the list. This is definitely a quality one to pick up, and this is Amber from the Purely Orient line from Ajmal. I do want to thank you guys again for tuning in. Do you guys like animalic fragrances? Are there any on the list that you checked out? Are there any others that you would suggest that are like big bag animalic scents? Something that I'm into? Definitely let me know in the comments. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I do appreciate your time, and I will see you on the next one, guys. Peace.